Hey, you know what's funny? I talked about Edge on my previous Heroes of SummerSlam, and I also talked a lot about the Hardy Boys, especially Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. And I forgot to mention that I was wearing their shirt, Reborn by Fate. Hardy Boys logo in the back. I barely see it, but what am I talking about? The Hardy Boys. I just want to promote that I have a new shirt, so there's that. Anyways, sorry about that. I need to fix everything. But yeah, this ain't about the Hardy Boys. This is about the Hulkster, brother. And I'm back with the Heroes of SummerSlam. What's up, guys? It's me. It's the Elite Double X Prince. And yes, the Hulkster brothers. Because, despite him having some of the worst matches in SummerSlam history, he's undefeated. So it's kind of like one of those, I have to put him in here. Because honestly, I don't want to talk about this guy because, he has some shit matches, but he's in a lot of them in the main event, and he is, in fact, undefeated. But I have to talk about him because, fuck it. We kick off with the Mega Powers versus the Mega Bucks, and the first ever SummerSlam 1988 with special guest referee Jessie Ventura. This was actually a good match. I really enjoyed this match. Basically, two of the biggest heels versus two of the biggest baby faces teaming up, Mega Powers, Mega Bucks. It was pretty good. I just didn't like that Hulk Hogan got his own entrance. Like it was Macho Man, then the Mega Bucks, then Hulk Hogan. Besides that, this was a pretty fun little tag team match and a really good way to promote the first ever SummerSlam. So kudos for them for having a pretty good match. I mean, it was just a fun match. I really enjoyed the match. You should definitely go out of your way and watch it. Aside from that, everything else is shit from here. Hulk Hogan defeated Macho Man and Zeus. He was teaming up with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I believe after this they become a huge tag team like the Mega Maniacs or some shit like that. But yeah, this is basically a way to promote his movie No Holds Barred, which no one really gave a fuck about. And this continued the feud between Macho Man and the Hulkster. And it was what it was. It was not that good. Whatever. I wish Hogan... Personally, what I would have done here is have a Hogan Savage 2. The rematch from WrestleMania. That would have made so much more sense. Instead of what we got. Because honestly, SummerSlam 1989, the mid-card was pretty solid. You had Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude. You had the Brainbusters versus the Hart Foundation. We had... even Rick Martel and Fabulous Rogue for whatever the fuck versus Tito Santana and the Rockers. We had some pretty good matches in SummerSlam 1989, but this was the main event. I'm like, come on. I mean, they could honestly with Macho Man and Hogan too. That would have been an easier way to promote the show and make it as big as it possibly was. 1990, he tried to be in the main event, but he quite wasn't. I mean. Everybody talked about every other match except the one Hulk Hogan was because he took on a jobber. A fucking jobber named Earthquake. And he beats him by countout, so he didn't really even win. And Earthquake, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this guy. He looks like Bill DeMott. Whatever. It was just pretty bad. It was just so awful to watch. It was just a fucking nightmare. And it just gets worse and worse from here. Each match gets worse and worse and worse. Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior team up. Yes, they team up. After for whatever reason. A year ago they fight at WrestleMania, but now they team up to take on the Triangle of Terror and another fucking shitty match. And this match is only remembered for the big controversy that happened behind the set of this match. So apparently. Ultimate Warrior chases down one of the guys from the Triangle of Terror. I forgot who. As he's running out to chase the guy, Vince McMahon is waiting for Ultimate Warrior and say them two magic words that made him famous. You're fired. Or so we think. That's been a rumor for years about what's going on behind the set of this, but yeah, that's what happened to Ultimate Warrior. Fucking Vince always has a fucking grudge on everybody. Honestly, this fool could just suck a dick for all I care. I mean, honestly, he would enjoy that. Maybe he could just calm the fuck down instead of being a fucking jackass to all these fucking people that make money for you. But anyways, Hogan wins. Who cares? He takes a break after this, and then afterwards, the SummerSlams just get better and better after this because, he wasn't in it. It's time for other people to shine, such as Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, all these big names, Stone Cold again, like I mentioned, The Rock. And then he comes back in 2005, just as we thought it was over for Hogan. He comes back in 2005 to promote one of his biggest matches of all time. SummerSlam 2005, he's in the main event against freaking Shawn Michaels. It's Legend versus Icon. This match, at the time, I thought was a pretty good match. And then as I got older, I realized this match is not that great as people say it was. Now, I talked to Diesel 101 about it. He thought this match was overrated as fuck, and I thought it was overrated as fuck. Actually, earlier in my YouTube days, I made a video of the most overrated SummerSlam matches of all time, and I believe this is number 1. And let me explain why. Shawn Michaels was originally going to win, but Hogan, being as political as he was, he's like, no, brother, I want to win. Brother, the shit. And Shawn Michaels said, fuck it, if he's going to win, then I'll just purposely have a shit match. So Shawn Michaels did a good job. He's popular for giving us some of the greatest matches of all time, but he was willing to put make one of the worst matches of all time. Well, close enough. This wasn't a fucking abomination of a match like the next one I'm gonna talk about. But Shawn Michaels just basically sold every move like Hogan was like Superman or some shit. Like honestly, Hogan could just do the finger poke of doom to Shawn Michaels, and he'll jump all over the ring. Basically, this all it was. It was just Shawn Michaels selling all the moves like if he was Dolph Ziggler or something. This maybe inspired Dolph Ziggler to be the guy that he is right now, so I don't know. And yeah, eventually Shawn Michaels puts over the Hulkster even though he didn't want that, and all shit goes there. So feel bad for Shawn Michaels. And the real person that should have definitely beat Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam was the legend killer himself, Randy Orton. The story was right there. This could have been a perfect way to build up Randy Orton. But no, Hogan had to beat him too, right? Fuck. Shit. Randy Orton beat Hulk Hogan. No, he didn't beat Hulk Hogan. He was originally going to win, but due to the story and everything, freaking Hogan wins again. LOL. What the fuck? And Hogan becomes 6-0 in some of the shittiest matches of all time. All Hogan did is showcase the type of guy that he is. An egotistical bastard. Fucking shit. This was hard. I don't know. For Heroes of SummerSlam, this is my least favorite one to talk about. It was so fucking annoying to sit through. The only good match I'll give Hogan was the Mega Bucks versus the Mega Powers. That was just like a good match, a really good tag team match. It made sense of who went over and everything, but everything else is just shit. Teaming up with Brutus Beefcake, fighting Earthquake, Triangle of Terror. He could have put over Michaels and Orton. He didn't do that for some reason, but no, fuck. Honestly, it's really hard to pick his worst match. If I had to pick, I'd probably have to be the Triangle of Terror just because of the whole Ultimate Warrior getting fired. That itself is a big fuck you to Vince, so yeah, I hated this match. I hated talking about this. It made sense with Hulk talking about Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam because, come on, not SummerSlam, WrestleMania, goddamn. See? You can't even make me focus right. But at WrestleMania, at least it makes sense to talk about him because he did at least have some classic matches with Andre, Macho Man, Rock, Vince, Ultimate Warrior, like I mentioned. He had good matches at WrestleMania. This time he's just showcasing his muscles and everything, just basically just being egotistical and not putting anybody over. So it sucks. Anyways, hopefully the next Heroes of SummerSlam I'm gonna talk about it. It'll be fun. Actually, it will, considering I'm gonna talk about the Olympic hero himself, Kurt Angle, next. So Stay tuned for that. Anyways, it's me, the ALE Double X Prince, and until then, I'm out.